and welcome to
the live of
the outro. Wow! Woo! Wow!
final entrance.
Yeah. We just wanted to, celebrate this night with all of you guys. So, just before we go into our proper live session, I just wanted to introduce myself. Hello, everybody. My name is Liz. I'm the CEO and creative director of the agency Cafe, and this is.
My name is Esther, and I'm also the co-founder of the White Label SEO Solutions of SEO. And we are very, very, very much excited to have you join us on this live session with the one and only Liz, our official partner and co-founder of the Outsourcing Bar. And we are very happy to have you also here with us.
Yeah. So guys, actually our topic for today is scaling smart with virtual assistants. When we were, thinking about this idea, it actually just started as a conversation. Like Esther, me, and her husband Kirk have been in the VA industry since 2011.
That's true.
Yeah. So we were, in the game the same time.
Yeah. But there will be no age reveal tonight. So
yeah,
you have to guess.
But I think that we've actually gone so far as, starting as virtual assistants and then freelancing and then becoming business owners to agency owners, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, one of the biggest challenges that I've had, I haven't had a drastic transition from virtual assistant into freelancing, but I really had a hard time, kind of going from freelancer into agency owner.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of challenges when it comes to scaling. And I feel like as agency owners, you also feel the same. Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about our journey as virtual assistants and how we were able to scale each of our companies, and how one of our surprises, what the heck is even the outsourcing bar?
Yeah. For tonight, guys. So stay tuned because we have a lot of freebies for tonight. Of course, we have a free executive audit for everyone. So stay tuned because we will be giving those freebies all over our live session tonight.
Yes, and I'd like you to really stay tuned because we're going to be talking about something deep and something very relevant for today. I think that one of the challenges of going into 2025 is the topic of sustainability. Everybody is talking about scale and growth, but less people are actually talking about sustainability. Yeah. And I think that, as a business owner, as an agency owner, when I was starting out, this was something that I really missed out on because I was really just focused on, hitting targets. And then it came to a time where I was completely burnt out and exhausted, and it really took a toll on my health that, instead of moving the business forward, I took a step back and, took a year off to really recuperate and bring back all this energy back. Yeah. So I think that for today we're going to be focusing on sustainable growth in conjunction with scaling, as well as really talking about unstable times. We had the pandemic.
It's true.
And then we had, here in our locality, we had a very bad storm wherein we had completely zero internet, no water.
For 6 months.
Yes. Yeah. And that was really a big challenge. So today we're going to be really talking about how to overcome these sort of unexpected circumstances and really build and scale a business that is future-proof.
Yes. So we are really talking about future-proofing your business and sustainability, in short, and balancing growth, of course, in growing and sustaining your business.
That's right.
Yeah. So I believe we are ready to start.
Yeah.
The first part. We just want to say hello to Christian. Hi, Cherry, watching from South Korea.
Wow, Cherry.
Hey, Cherry. How do you say hello in Korea?
안녕하세요.
Oh.
I just learned that from a K-drama.
We also have here Christian Angelo. So good evening to both of you watching from Siargao Islands.
Wow.
Ooh, Siargao,
Ah.
the surfing capital of the Philippines.
Yes. So, Esther, I think that as part of sustainability, while we're on the topic, I really want to talk about something that's trendy right now. I think so. I would say trendy because I think in the past we were really focused on hustling and hustling, and then I think that that really changes once you have a family,
It's
Yeah.
true.
especially like with
Like
mine.
the grind is really
Yes.
different.
The
Yeah.
grind is really different. The same passion, the same level of passion is there, but you also kind of like have, you have to reflect and really find the balance between parenting and then grinding for the business because sometimes businesses, they can take over our lives.
That's true.
So, I think that we're all about the healthy hustle, and I think that's one of the core values of outsourcing bar when we were creating this concept, which we will talk about later. So stay tuned for that. It's actually a very funny story, but yeah, that's really how we transitioned from grinding to growing. I thought that by grinding I was growing, but it was the exact
It's the opposite. Yeah.
that's right. So, Esther, can you talk about like how this transition happened for you as well? Like, how did you transition from grinding to growing?
It was a different path for me because we have been VA starting 2011.
Yeah.
So I think we were just starting an agency, and the reason was really different for us. It was because at that time, I think the main reason was not mainly to get off, to think about the goals of having an agency
Yeah.
and delegating tasks.
Yes.
But the main goal was to really just time, because we really didn't have time to cater. I think we had 4 clients at the time. I really didn't have time to cater and give my clients quality outputs.
Yeah, that's right.
Because of course, it's just
We're doing
one.
everything.
Yeah, we're doing everything, and at that time, I mean the purpose of hiring the people around us is not really to have a system.
Yeah.
Not really, because I really didn't know how to build systems, processes. It was just mainly to clone me, like for me to be able to put someone in a spot where I'll be able to teach them how to do a certain task, and then they'll do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to be the one to teach them. I'll have to be the one to, my time would be much lesser on my family, of course.
Yeah.
Because I'd have to be beside them to teach them. So I think that's the time that we transitioned. We started hiring people, but things are different now. As I realized that building an agency is not just about getting someone to delegate tasks.
That's right.
Yeah. So I think now it's more about building systems and processes that works, even if I'm not there, even if I'm not present on, for that certain person.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand. Like, I may have had a different journey, but I think we have similarities in terms of the challenges that we had to face. I think that when I was a VA and I was ready to scale, when I was a freelancer and then I was ready to scale as an agency owner, I think one of my, it's the expectations versus reality concept wherein, I thought that as you get more people, the work becomes less and less. But without the proper orientation, the proper systems, and the proper knowledge when it comes to handling people, because I've graduated from business management and I've been a leader my entire life, but I found that it's really different.
Yeah.
When you have a business and like you said, you were trying to clone yourself.
Because it's very hard. I don't think we can even do that.
Yeah. I realized that there's no one like me out there, and that was one of my biggest mistakes coming into like hiring my first VA because I was expecting that they would immediately have that same standard, that same passion
As you.
as me. And I've learned that those are things like their mindset, the culture. That's something that you have to integrate and build onto them. They, it's something that you plant in their hearts and in their minds.
Their body and their soul.
We're getting a bit dramatic here. I think we're getting a bit carried away. So, yeah, I like how you mentioned about like really finding systems. Because I thought, I remember there was a time, I think this was 2023, I realized that, there's such a word, scaling too fast. I was, it was easy for me to really find clients. And at that time, like business was really booming. I made the mistake of like hiring several people without having like a clear system or having absolutely no idea how to delegate tasks or what tasks to even delegate.
I highly agree. So we attended this SEO conference in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
So one quote that really stuck to me up until to now is the speaker said, "Systems, people don't fail, but systems fail."
Systems do. Yeah.
So I think no matter how ready your clients are, if someone would say to you, "Hey Liz, I have 100 clients to onboard you now. Are you ready?" Would you be ready? Right? So
No.
the question would be, would you be ready? Would your systems be ready? Would your processes be ready? Right? So
yeah, absolutely. And when would you say would be the right time to hire a VA? When would be, what are the signs? Some of the signs, like in your personal experience.
In my personal experience, it was when I started to focus on my strengths. So because I'm the person where if I feel like I can do it, then I'm really having this is just an honest opinion for me. So I'm really having a hard time, delegating it to someone because I feel like and I believe that if I could have done this by myself, I would have been finished in a much, I would have spent much lesser time. If I would have to teach this to someone and I would have to coach them, I would have to check their outputs, then 10x my time would be wasted. So I'd rather do it. Then I realized there are really things that I could, check off my list. Yeah. Like for example, so I rated myself. So yes, I rated myself. Of course, it's a 10 out of 10. No. Okay, so what I did is the first column of I think I also talked to you about this. Yeah. And I think that session was also in a bar. Yeah. But I told you that with the first column I list out I actually also learned this from an SEO conference in Vietnam. Yeah. So the speaker spoke about rating yourself with a task, specific task. For example, email management, customer support, or Canva design, or designing like a carousel post. And then the next column would be from 1 to 5, rate yourself how good you are in doing that. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So, like basically for me, I'm not a graphics artist. I do know how to do Canva and templates and stuff. I do have a creative mind, but I would rate myself 3 out of 5. Then the next column it would be like if you would pay yourself for this. For this task, specific task, how much would you pay yourself? Like for example, it's $2 per hour or $2 per design. Would my time be worth $2 and then my output is just 3 out of 5? So I think that really helped me pivot into. I think it's mainly because of trusting someone. Yeah. It's not mainly trust issues. It's just interesting someone with the output that you're expecting. Yeah. Setting expectations. Setting the right expectations. I think that I remember, when
I was in dark cloud moment in my life. Who hasn't, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was you guys, you and Kirk, who actually came on and encouraged me to actually delegate. And I think the idea of like really finding someone, um, like an EA, was one of the things that I remember Kirk advising me on. And I think that you were the one who told me that you can't grow if you can't let go. Because I had control issues.
I didn't say that. Did I?
Yes, you did. Yeah, because I had control issues. I think it's part of like, the family values here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I really had control issues. I was a perfectionist. As an artist, I really take pride in my work. And as a creative, there are things like being very specific, having attention to details.
Of course. Yeah.
And when people miss out on it, it's really it really strikes me, and it really drains my energy, because it's not just it's okay if it's done for you,
Yeah.
but if it's done for you in behalf of a client,
Yeah.
that's a different issue.
It basically represents your work.
Yes. So I loved how you said that, and I loved how you were able to use that kind of like system that you got from a conference. Because there are a lot of us who have gone to conferences, taken courses, but like application wise, let's be honest, we haven't really applied it all. So yeah, I love that. So we talked about when, right? We've always
Yes.
talked about like the right time to hire a VA, and that really requires like doing a task inventory, which you would know if you would book a call, an executive call, and it's absolutely free. You can do so by clicking on the link. I think we will have the link in the comment section. Can we have that, guys? Yeah. Okay. So
See the link?
Yeah.
Through below.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, if you want to book an executive link, just an executive call, just go to outsourcingbar.com and click on the button work with us. So yeah. Esther, so basically we've identified the what. Now let's go into further details and really talk about the how. I think this is something that a lot of conferences or even webinars don't really discuss in that much detail.
Yeah.
So I really want to dive deep into this.
You're in a great treat tonight because we are really detail-oriented persons.
Really?
I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that we've actually created an outline, guys. We're not prepared. We will be covering like 3 of the biggest issues when it comes to hiring, firing, or like growing an agency through virtual assistants. Like, this is really some of the core problems when it comes to delegation that we've personally encountered.
Yeah.
And are still trying to address, because it's a continuous, as you grow more, your problems also get more complex.
Yeah.
Right?
It actually shifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why we can't really say that we finally. Yes, because continuous improvement is one of the values here at Outsourcing Bar. So Esther, can you talk about like where you would usually find some VAs?
So I believe we talked about this earlier. So the question, I think you said about a very controversial topic.
Yeah.
So I think it's better if we start there.
Okay.
So because you had me, compare.
Oh yeah.
The very controversial topic of, let's compare that. Experience versus potential.
Yeah. Experience versus potential. I think that's really a very controversial issue. I think I remember back when I was in college and I was applying for my first actual job in corporate, that everything required experience. Like, how do you get experience? You just graduated from college. Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting idea. But like when I was starting, and this was this was really something that struck me, and I think that because I've experienced it personally,
Yeah.
so I'd like to share a bit more on my experience. I hired two types of website designers. One was, one I've trained from actual scratch, and
I've heard a lot of stories about it.
Yeah. And one who already had experience. And those, they're both good. Don't get me wrong. They're both good.
They're both good.
Yeah. So whether it's experience or potential, I think that there are both pros and cons. So let me just start with, the pros.
Okay.
Because my friend recently taught me the sandwich method. So let's start with the good part. I think it's very obvious why you would want to hire an experienced VA. Yeah, I think that experience really goes a long way, and they also kind of like have that expertise and insight to really help you problem solve, especially when it is a task or a skill that you're not really an expert on.
Yeah.
I think that's where experience really wins. The problem is sometimes, like when you're hiring someone, especially when it's your first hire. Yeah. When it's your first hire, you don't really hire someone off the bat that's not related to what you're doing, right? Like as we both discussed, we wanted to hire someone who's kind of like a clone of us.
Yeah.
So it would be something that is somehow similar to what we're doing. So that was why my first hire was a website designer, right? Yeah. And I feel like one of the challenges when it comes to hiring experienced people, especially people who didn't really develop a growth mindset, sometimes it's hard for them to adjust to the environment, the culture, and the workflows of our business because they already had a set system for themselves.
That's true. It's very hard to break.
Yeah, which is very hard to break because there are habits intact. And I really had a hard time, communicating and really getting things out from that working relationship because not because the person isn't good, that person is one of my respected professionals, but probably it just wasn't the right fit. And I've had this problem for several designers because experienced designers because it's there really is a disconnect, and my clients would often say, Liz, did you even design this?
Yeah. So there's that touch of bliss.
Yes. Yeah. And then as someone who has a very unique and distinct signature style, it's hard for me to actually tell another person, can you design like me, especially when they've already come to a point where they've already have their own signature. Yeah. True. As opposed to, hiring someone with potential who is an absolute empty cup. So you can just feed them and feed them and feed them, and they will just absorb it. They can shadow you, like they get all of your, like they understand what makes you tick, like the things that I don't like, the things that I like actually, and it's
like their minds are like sponges that you just absorb.
Absolutely, especially when these people with potential actually have been cultivated.
Yeah.
The problem with people with potential is it can cost a lot of time, like training,
time and patience. I guess.
Yes. Like I've been talking to several business owners lately, as we were preparing for the launch of the outsourcing bar. And one of the things that really struck me during these conversations we've had was how they had a hard time actually finding the time to train their assistants.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. It takes time to train somebody and for them to actually understand.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gap there. Yeah. And I think I recall, even me, and I've experienced this personally, and I think you guys have too, that there's a cost to that.
That's true.
Number one, that could, ruin your reputation to clients. Like if you could lose the clients over a VA simple mistake.
Yeah.
Number two, I think that it can also be costly because you're training somebody, so basically you're paying them, and at the same time you're still doing the work.
And you're investing in tools, investing in trainers.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, because the level of quality that clients usually get from you isn't maintained, isn't the same.
Yes.
You would have to redo things and at the same time provide feedback. There's a lot of back and forth there with time that you don't have
an output.
Yes. Yes. So you're basically, I think that, in terms of financial preparedness, be financially prepared if you're going that route. So, but on the flip side, right, I think there really is what do you call this? I think there is a middle ground because both have their pros and cons. And I think that's where the idea for
outsourcing.
Yes. The outsourcing market gap. Like there's this gap that needed to be filled between potential and experience. And I think that, sorry, Esther will talk about this more when we get into the culture bit. So I think let's proceed.
Let's proceed to giving everyone here tonight with us. Hi guys, shout out to everyone watching. Hello, I hope you are having a great night with us. We're very sorry for our channel, but I hope you'll be getting a great night. Hi, welcome to your Yan Yan.
Yeah, Yan Yan. If you're not familiar with Yan Yan, she is actually our GHL expert.
Oh, and she actually just trained the team.
Yes, and she's amazing. She's an amazing trainer. She's very patient. I love her gentle, feminine energy as opposed to my helper. Yeah. Hello, Ella. I think I also saw Reynald there. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Oh, speaking of, I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Raymar. He really told me to give him a shout out as we were actually having like life coaching discussions, and one of the things that he shared with me was how this was really his first job and he wasn't able to finish college, but now look at him, he's actually thriving as a website designer here at the outsourcing bar, and it's really it's really touching that it kind of says something about our industry as well, that you don't really need to have a degree in order to be good at your skills. Sometimes a degree, I'm not saying that a degree isn't important.
Actually, it's also a controversial topic here in the Philippines, like having a diploma versus not having one, right?
Yeah. And I think that that's something that is required here in the digital marketing industry. We talk not in terms of papers and documents, but in terms of skills.
It's true.
Yeah, and Raymar was my friend Raymar.
Hi, her friend Raymar. I can be your friend too. Hi, Mar.
Yeah, you really had potential, and we were so happy to have you here as part of the outsourcing bar family.
All right, everyone. So we do have, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Visit Outsourcing Bar Facebook, and then we have exciting giveaways for you guys. So we are giving away free VA services to our engaging viewers. So here's how you can win. First, comment on this live event. Comment, we are beautiful. And hope I'm very orange tonight. So second would be to share the live event on your profile. And third would be to engage with us during this live event by asking questions.
Awesome. And there's actually a question that we have on screen right now. Can a VA be cost effective compared to hiring a full-time employee? Wow, that's an interesting question. Momshi, would you like to take the floor?
All right. So I think both sideways. Yes, it will be very cost effective because you don't have to if it's an experienced VA, of course, you don't have to pay for like the training, the courses, of course, to train them. If you are an expert yourself in a specific field, for example, I'm an SEO specialist and I'm looking for, I do have low budget and I have time, it would be more cost effective for me to just hire someone with potential.
Yeah.
Because I do have time to spend my time training them
Yeah.
without even having to buy courses or buy trainings.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that in terms of cost effectiveness, it's actually part of our outline, guys. So let's not just get ahead of ourselves. We will be covering that later on in
yes,
full detail.
full detail.
Yeah. And but thank you for that question. Better better wait for that portion. We're almost there. Let's go to the second topic. Actually,
Just stay tuned. Jacob will answer that later.
I am very excited for this one, and I would like you to answer this.
Mhm.
It's another controversial topic, guys, and that's the question of like freelance. Did you hire a freelancer, or do you hire based on referral, or do you hire from an agency? Which one is best?
Agency, because I'm biased. I'm sorry, you can bleep that out. But I think leveraging platforms like freelancing platforms, or basically just referrals also, and agencies. There's a good mix of it depending on your business goal.
Yeah.
So of course, if you're starting out, because agencies, if I would compare the three of them, the costing would be different as well, right? So it depends on your budget, your goal, your business goals,
The needs as well.
the needs, your needs. So if it's your first hire, and you are finding yourself, like us, it's like us, we're finding ourselves, it's hard for us to really delegate, and we really don't know what to actually delegate,
Yeah.
how to actually delegate them. So I would say hiring an agency would be the best option for me.
That's right.
I mean, like a full-time employee from an agency
Yeah.
would be the best fit for me, because of course they have their own operations. They are managed by someone above them, so it would be easier for me to not actually have a problem how do you call that, managing them.
Yeah.
Their processes and systems would be able to teach me how to actually delegate tasks.
Yeah.
They already have tools, they already have systems. So yes, I'm biased, so agency. Yeah.
But I think I'd like to add a bit more context to that, because I also don't want to say that freelancing referral don't work. But yeah, so going back to freelancing, I think if you have like a very specific task, like probably you're looking just to publish an ebook, or something with a clear deliverable. I think that's something that a freelancer would suffice.
Yeah.
But finding a freelancer can also take a lot of trial and errors.
That's true.
Finding a good freelancer is hard these days, because sometimes a lot of them, like, they market themselves so well, but when it comes to the work, it can be a bit disappointing, especially since we all know, like, some freelancers would really love to, have multiple clients. And they have multiple projects, and you don't really know whether they have a team behind them or not. So that's something that
you should look into.
Yeah, that's something that you should consider. Another one, like in terms of referral, I think it can sometimes be a yes or a no. Because sometimes like referrals in terms of friends, relationships, and whether that sometimes when we're referring something, it's, especially in our world, it may include an affiliate commission.
Yeah.
That's
very true.
In terms of reliability of a referral, I think I did have some success there, but as something that is, if you're really looking for a more ongoing, recurring,
sustainable,
recurring, what do you call this? Person, sorry. If you're really looking for something more recurring, sustainable, it's an ongoing
relationship.
Yeah, an ongoing relationship, ongoing projects, ongoing tasks that you have to have month in, month out. And you're the type of person who's just like me and her husband Kirk. We even thought of this meme. And because sometimes when Kirk and I are discussing things, we really just sprout out all all of these ideas, and then
That's
sometimes we
true.
would think about,
Cheers to that.
we would think about this business idea, and we would, have this business right away. We would take action, but then she ends up
I end up writing the notes.
ends up writing the notes, not only writing the notes, but actually thinking of how to execute it, because we're just filled with ideas. We're not really good when it comes to, having, some, what do you call this? Like, kind of like taking that idea and breaking that down into a plan and having actionable tasks.
Both of you have overcrowded brain.
I agree.
I guess I do not have that, so I think I'm feel free to fill in.
That's the beauty of an agency, because an agency kind of like acts like, people think that an agency is just something wherein, we get pre-vetted VAs and they train them, but more than that, actually, at least in our agency, like, we really love to partner with our clients. It's really getting to know them and understanding their needs, from not just from like a task standpoint, but actually from a business standpoint, because we are also business owners.
We're treating them as business partners, basically.
And we really have that, as VAs ourselves for so many years. We have that advantage, that experience, and authority to actually come in and identify, like, what are some of the tasks that needs to be delegated.
Yeah. Sometimes it's also hard, as an agency owner, like you've already mentioned, you and Kirk being really great visionaries, which, by the way, guys, 100% I love to be with them, but I really have to charge myself before our next session with them, because I really have to write down notes and have to be fast on it, because they're like, like, we're talking about a business right now, and then they're building another business inside of it. So
and that's why we really love Esther. We really love Esther, and we really love Yen. Sometimes
Yen too.
Yen too. Like, she really has that.
She's
insight.
really organized. Like, she can organize your thoughts.
Yeah.
A life organizer. If you are looking, guys, for a life organizer, just hit in Yen.
Yeah, and which brings me to our last controversial topic, which is one of the major roadblocks of a lot of businesses who are trying to scale, or a lot of agency owners these days, and that is how to delegate. Not knowing how to delegate and how to delegate. Like you've already mentioned earlier, setting the right expectations, even identifying tasks that you should be delegating, that's already hard. And that's where, people like Esther and Yen really come in. Because as, me as a business owner, my mind can go, idea here, idea there, idea everywhere. But then, when it comes to actually communicating that idea into a plan, it's different when you're communicating an idea into paper and communicating this idea into another person.
Human being.
A live human being. Sometimes I get really overwhelmed and I just don't know where to start. That I procrastinate over that idea, that I end up not doing it. But recently, like Yen, who is also a part of the outsourcing bar, she really gives me these amazing prompts. She asks me questions that help me to kind of like organize my thoughts and what do you call this? Sort of
Sort it out.
And make it tangible in a way that's understandable and has the potential to be assisted. So I think that is also, as we were discovering that was also one of the things that we really wanted for the outsourcing market.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
I would also say, like, when you are looking for some, it's very hard to delegate, but I think it's about goal setting between you and your VA. So if you have aligned goals and you set clear goals with them, especially if they are experienced ones, they have the potential, they have the experience already, and then you sit in with them. Of course, you set clear goals. Like, for example, for this first quarter of this year, we're gonna have 100+ clients onboarded, something like that. I think it's giving them the. It's not about really delegating tasks.
Yeah.
Like I just say this, I need like 100 clients, make it happen. Let me know what you need from me. It's not about I need 100 clients. We need 100 clients for the first quarter this year.
Yeah.
Here are your tasks.
Oh.
Right? That's a very different system.
Yeah.
Right? So it's about clear goal settings. Sitting in with that VA, especially experienced ones, they'll be able to give you a direction towards what he or she will be doing.
Yeah.
To like hit that goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and I think one of the key roles of being or having a VA is also focus. I think that I think that a good VA, a good VA helps you to really focus.
Yes.
They really look into you. A good VA, how I would describe a good VA anyway, is one who really looks into not just your task, but actually your preferences, your attitude, your work, like the way you work, and really identify and diagnose like what are your system issues and like how do we plan the schedule and what are the tasks that I should prioritize for this client, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes tasks are all over the place, and sometimes a client doesn't even know like what tasks to prioritize. Yeah, and it's a VA's goal. Sorry, it's a VA's duty to actually go in and look at what are the tasks that are becoming due, what are the tasks that can still be delayed. Yeah. So, but having that insight really does require not years of experience, because I've met experienced VAs who still don't have that insight. But one of the things that even when I'm communicating with my EA and my virtual assistants, I always tell them that always have the end user in mind. And that's not always the client. That's not always the customer or the customer of your client.
No.
Sometimes it's another person in the team. Like if you are
interesting.
Yeah. Like for example, when you're creating a template, something as easy as a Canva template, you really need to think about the next person. You have to think about like, is the design flexible that the next person, even without me, is able to use that? Because that for me is value. That having that insight from a virtual assistant who actually thinks critically and thinks about how I'm able to use this, like what he or she has provided me, especially because, let me just talk about this real quick. When you're from different time zones, and you need just a quick adjustment, right? And you need just a quick adjustment. It's absolutely frustrating if you can't do that adjustment by yourself. Yes. And you'd have to wait for the other person to kind of like wake up.
Yeah.
But having a VA who does things for you in a way that you are also empowered, because that energy, that should be, it's not just supposed to be that the VA gives you energy. It's a reciprocal. You reciprocate each other's energy. It's not just about empowering your VAs, but your VAs should be also.
Also, it's also not just about kicking off tasks. Like I've got a kind of template to edit and just here we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I would 100% agree to that. Yeah.
And that also kind of like brings me to the topic. Where's Jacob? So the topic of the cost effectiveness of Filipino VAs. Because interestingly, the Philippines is really one of the outsourcing capitals in the world. Number one, because we're really great English speakers.
Yes, we are.
Would you agree?
Yes. Hey, Gary, shout out to you.
Hi.
what can
A
a general VA do? Oh, we're delving into that for our next part. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. Please stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned,
Mr.
Gary.
Yummy.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, the outsourcing capital of the world. But we've been in the game since 2011. Like I started with I think $2 an hour, $3 an hour. I can't really recall. And now I see people who are starting at 15, 25
Yeah, without experience.
without experience. Yeah. But for me, right, I would say that there should really be a balance because I think that a lot of people are still backward thinkers. A lot of clients are still backward thinkers when it comes to pricing. They think that by hiring a $2 per hour VA is a steal,
Yeah, it's very true.
but eventually you get what you pay for. Like I started with $2 an hour, but that was how many years ago? You don't want your VA to go hungry, or else you'll lose.
Inflation is real.
Yeah,
I would say that. Yeah.
You can't really get that insight because when you're hungry, my brain doesn't work. You know this. When I'm hungry, my brain does absolutely nothing. So you have to make sure that your VA is well fed, and that really requires cost. And when it's true, we're on the topic of money anyway. Because I think if you're a business owner, you shouldn't be scared of like talking about money.
Money.
Yeah, but for virtual assistants in the Philippines, we would say, like some would say that $10 is too high a cost. But if you look at the current economic landscape that we have right now, especially when you're talking about someone who has actual experience, who has the training, who really saves you a lot of time, and you compare that to the actual cost of like hiring someone in-house, remember that you're not just you're paying for their services, but you're not paying for their electricity, you're not paying for their devices, you're not paying for a lot of these costs that you don't see, right?
I would say it will be very cost effective in the long run.
Yeah, it's very cost effective in the long run. And what really makes us unique from other agencies as well is we aside from we're pretty.
Pretty.
Strength. We always want someone. We want to look at someone on Zoom and
Of course.
this person is so inspiring. But kidding aside,
Presentable.
yeah, presentable. But kidding aside, I think that me, you, and Kurt, we're all well traveled. Like we didn't just learn all of our skills and all of the values that we have by staying here. We've actually gone out. We've met people. We went to conferences. We invested in our own growth as well. But yet we came back here because we could have if we really wanted to, we would have gone to like all those big cities and we'll be fine, right?
That's true.
But like staying here in our local province and giving back to the community, that's something that I admire about you both. I know that you are really good. I know that you really care about our small city of Surigao.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and that really shows in how your people really respect and admire you. So but going back to that topic, I think that one thing that really sets us apart is that you still get the quality of the VAs, the ones that are really, ones that we've personally trained. Yeah, we personally trained. But in terms of cost, because we are in the province, we are in the province, so you still get that sweet spot of like having cost effective things because ours is provincial rates. Like compare when I lived in Manila for 8 months, and I spend like 500 pesos just by going out. That's just my fare.
Your fare.
Yeah, but here
you can walk.
Or not. Well, I do have a driver. Some driver. But no, I think that in terms of cost, like the difference. This is the difference, guys. When you're in Manila and you're taking a taxi, you're just going somewhere that's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or even an hour. It will cost like 500 for a Grab taxi driver. But here, when you're taking public transportation, like everything is like 10 to 15 minutes away. Everything is 10 to 15 minutes away, and
Which is feasible to walk.
yes, and we just
It's a good
pay,
exercise.
and we just pay like so if I would go from my place to yours, that would be 30 pesos, right?
Yeah, less than
But
a
like
dollar.
yeah, but like when you're in town, that would be just 11,
Yeah,
which is more than less than a dollar.
50 cents or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really the difference. Like when I was even when I was in Cebu, I remember that the fare that I would have to pay for this this tricycle. It's like a mini motorcycle with a passenger seat on it. It's more expensive. It's more expensive than what I have to pay for a public jeepney, which takes me farther. So yeah, that was really interesting. So I think that in terms of cost effectiveness, we've also kind of like dealt with that here at the outsourcing, where we're able to offer our clients that, but at the same time have VAs that are really well trained, well versed,
Yeah.
and yeah, at the same time we get to give back.
That's very true. I would also like to add on like cost effectiveness on hiring a full time employee versus like a VA. Because if you would have to think about hiring a full time employee, and of course you'll have to buy them the devices.
Yeah.
You'll have to have an office. You'll have to pay.
Because that's something that you've experienced.
That's something that we're really doing. You have to think about the extra cost that you're not paying your VA for that. Like for example, you will also have to think about, of course, besides water, electricity, you also have to invest in, in training them and buying stuff for it. Because like if you would hire a VA from an agency, the agency
would do those
would
things
do
for
those
you.
things for you. Yes, it's very true.
Yeah.
That specific VA from the agency can also actually teach you how to, especially if you're growing and scaling a business. Like for example, Kurt has a white label SEO like service. So how it works is that I can start my business like right here, right now. I'll just offer your service to someone.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to do the work. Right? So that's basically
Amen.
That's basically how our VAs work in outsourcing work.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. And Mom, I want to proceed because we've already taken like those are the three core problems that we usually have, and there are a lot for sure. But I think that one of the things that really solves this, while we're on the topic of monetary and not making our VA starve. Yeah, not starving our VA.
That's very true. Liz just came in at the office and brought everyone like takoyaki. So everyone was very happy. Yesterday, she also brought us pizzas. So
Yeah,
that's very true.
yeah, because we
Do not let them starve.
Yeah, because we love food.
That's
As a
true.
Christian, I really believe that when Jesus was teaching, there was always food on the table.
Yeah.
So that's
It actually, gives time for everyone to look stop.
to stop and really have that healthy hustle.
Yeah. Healthy
Yeah.
hustle.
Healthy hustle.
I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So while we're on the topic of giving monetary provision for our VAs, like we all know that financial provision is one of the biggest motivators.
I think that's mainly why we work. Why we work, right? Why we hustle.
Motivators. Yeah. But like aside from that, I know that culture would probably be the next big one. So I want to ask you this because I know that our agencies, like our separate agencies, like we have each of our separate agencies, and the outsourcing bar is our joint project together as one agency where we're both partners. But we started off with different agencies. Like they have an SEO agency, and we have a website design agency. See, we're already tit and tat. So yeah. Can you talk to me about, because you obviously have an agency that is larger in size than our studio. So I'd like to know like how you've cultivated that VA culture, because I know like my team is super small. So I'm able to have like that happy-go-lucky, digital nomad culture that we have. But I know that as your team grows, there's also a lot more complexities that come with it. So I want to ask you how you're able to maintain that culture that you wanted for your beings.
Basically, I think as I've said earlier, it's about setting clear goals with that.
Yeah.
But before that, we really don't. I want to get back to the topic of experience versus potential, because this is what we really do here in our company. So we mainly focus on people who have potential. We are living here in the province, so we only have a small province, and we love to get back. Of course, we love to target employees from here. Now, not most of us have experience here, so we basically hire based from attitude and not skills. So that's like, it's like one of the advocacy of Kurt as well. Giving a chance to, like, it doesn't matter if you're an undergraduate. We actually have
like Mama, my friend.
Yeah, we have a lot of undergraduates who are really striving in the company. They are even, one of them is all even a team leader. Yes, in a technical. Hi, Kuya Pai, if you are listening, I'm talking about you. Shout out to you. So, mainly hiring potential and attitude versus skills. So that's one. Also looking at if these people are, you know, practicing the same values as the company wants to practice.
Yeah.
You can actually do that in your interview process, like question that doesn't really need to be technical. Questions about, if I think about values. How would you react to a certain situation? Like, more, our questions here are more on based on situations. How would you react on the situation? What would you do?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Now, if we already got those people in the company, we mainly focus on the as a holistic approach.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yes. So we focus. We mainly believe that we're not just here to professionally grow them. We are also responsible for their personal development. Yeah. So that's why every Monday, Liz had it's her first session with us. So because in every Monday we do this meditation with the team.
Yeah, where you share goals and your wins.
Yes, we share goals and our wins, of course, our loss. So we would build a support system that you do not just come in because for work, but you come in because you have a family, you have a support system. So we practice that holistic, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and also, of course, physically. Yes.
Walking.
Walking, a 15-minute walk here in our province would be good. Yes.
Yeah.
So our end goal really is to, to have a team who are self-managed, self-motivated, and self-sustained.
Yeah.
So once they are really in tune with that, it doesn't matter if if we have that team, then we'll just have to set clear goals and then let them be. Like, let them perform. I do not
trust.
Yes, trust them. You cannot see them grow if you're always there. So,
and I think that goes the same way with parenting.
Yeah, with parenting, yes, that's very true. Because we had this experience that if you really let them, do their stuff, you sometimes say things that you realize that they're not even a good fit on the position that you put them into.
Yeah.
So there's a bigger chance that they can perform very much well into a higher position, or a much better position that they can, perform much better.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that I really love the culture that you built here as well. I think that's something that we also have in common. Sometimes, like, when you're in the digital marketing industry and you're part of a city, like especially ours here in the Philippines, where you're part of a place that doesn't really have a lot of opportunities in terms of digital marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really gives you this kind of like craving to find people the same mindset.
Mm.
And I love that, I think one of the things that we're also teaching our, our VAs, I think we both are, is to not really limit themselves
That's true.
to the opportunities that are here. And I really love like kind of like cultivating this mindset. Sometimes my mom really, my mom, I always say this to you that my mom really doesn't sometimes understand like what we're doing here, and
That's true.
they really are, all for the traditional,
Yeah,
corporate thing, which I think that we've all been built into. Like as a, ever since I was a child, I always believed that I was going to be a lawyer, I was going to marry and have kids, and then, the whole shebang, and then retire. But then, as I stepped into this world,
the real world.
the real world, I realized that I had a lot of options, and that you know, that wasn't really the life for me. Like I hate being cooped up in an office. I really love traveling. I really love meeting new people. I really love having a bit of spontaneity, and that's really where my strength lies. That's
Like a
really
good mix of nervousness, a good mix of excitement.
yeah, and that's where my that's where I really shine.
That's true.
And I think that a lot of people are stuck in the boxes that society has put them into, that they have a hard time really unlocking their full potential. And that's what we love to do here. We love to, really help people, not just, towards our professional goals, because, as a business, we have business goals.
Yeah.
To really invest in their own personal goals as well. Like,
it's true.
I'm also very invested in the lives of my VA. Like we go beyond the office. That's one thing that's one of the beauties of our industry. Like we live our lives beyond the office. We have lives beyond the office. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I agree definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that we've kind of like discussed all of the pain points that we've experienced. Yeah, we've experienced, and let's just look at the comment section real quickly. Wow, there are a lot. So yeah. Okay, hey Gary, hi. Were we able to answer
watching from Houston, Texas? Hey Gary. So I am an affiliate marketer. How can a VA help me?
That's interesting. An affiliate marketer, how can a VA help me? Well, as an affiliate marketer, I know that there are several repeatable tasks that an affiliate that comes with affiliate marketing.
Yes, like sourcing, sourcing for tools or maybe products that are very trending right now. For example, like research and creating content. Yeah,
and marketing. Yeah, and that's really where virtual assistant can really help you with. It's really more about understanding your needs as an affiliate marketer as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that a VA, like if in terms of like how can a VA help, there are many ways that a VA can help. It's more about how can a VA help you as an affiliate marketer. Because I can give you a bunch of tasks that our VAs can help you with, but it ultimately boils down into understanding which tasks you should delegate and which task needs to be reviewed by you at the moment. That's really where our executive call can help you. And where our free executive call can really help doing that task on. What can a general VA do?
So our general VAs, specifically our general VAs, can do admin tasks, theoretical tasks, so tasks like manual and mechanical tasks. For example, simple data entry. So you also mentioned that you are an affiliate marketer. So a general VA can do the research for you.
Yeah.
Just give them like the personas, like a list of niche, like specific industries that you want to target, or specific tools, or niches that you want to target, and then our general VA can help you do the research.
Yeah.
Or maybe just sourcing, building the list for you.
Yeah. Basically, all of those manual, mechanical tasks, very repeatable tasks. That's something that you can delegate to a general virtual assistant. I hope that answers your question because we have a different type of VA, which we will be covering. Do we have any other questions though before we proceed? Can a VA be cost effective? I think we've already answered. Wow, this is for Liz. What's one mistake?
What's one mix? What?
I'm sorry,
You see
making when trying to scale their business, and how can VAs help them avoid it? Well, if it's just a VA, like entrepreneurs make and trying to scale it, it's a hard question. But like if it's just a VA, sometimes VAs they're like sponges, right? They're sponges, they execute tasks.
Yeah.
But in terms of like how identifying mistakes, like especially when it comes to identifying mistakes, diagnosing problems, and really looking at the business overall, that's beyond what I would say beyond what the general virtual assistant can do. Sometimes when it comes to that, what you would need, what I would suggest would be hiring an executive assistant.
Yes, someone who could, critically think about, critically decide in behalf of you, or
basically your right hand person. Yeah. Okay, so do we have any other questions before we proceed to the exciting part? I am a real estate agent. I need help managing property listings, client follow-ups, and scheduling showings. How can a VA make my operations move clients while maintaining a personal touch? That's interesting. Maintaining a personal touch. Can I answer this?
yes, and you're a very personal, touchy
Yeah,
person.
I think that for because I'm the brand strategist, website designer, and having like 10 years in copywriting, I think that I'm the best person to answer this. I've also helped real estate agents before, those real estate professionals, in terms of like personal touch. Especially, this is a good topic because I just discussed with you and the team earlier about how to train ChatGPT. So we've all been about like one of my struggles as a business owner, especially as a copywriter, is I have really high standards when it comes to content, and I have a really unique brand voice and personality that you're able to it's easy to spot whether I'm the one writing. Yeah, it's very distinguishable whether I'm the one writing. And that's really where my prompts with ChatGPT really come in. So this is actually funny. I call ChatGPT love. We just recently upgraded to babe. So yeah, so now I call ChatGPT babe, but like the reason why I'm saying that, or like I'm talking to ChatGPT that way, is because I really want the AI tool to embody who I am, how I would usually talk to people, what is my word choice. I prompt ChatGPT to kind of like analyze how I write, and then I really talk to it as if it's a person. Actually, Yen, my dear friend, was the one who actually taught me this, that she would apologize. She would even apologize to ChatGPT, and she would say, "I really appreciate you." So that really got me thinking, like, what if, I would show, like, I would have a bit of my personality into ChatGPT, and I would feed that. And in terms of like delegating that to a VA, you could give your VA some really good, what do you call this? You can either create a ChatGPT account and then share access to your VA so that you would be the one to personally prompt Second, you could give your VA a bit of context into your background, into who your clients are, into like some personal pieces about your life. Like earlier,
basically like a guideline of
yeah,
who I am, right?
yeah. So earlier, I just want to share, like, we were writing for Kirk's caption. Yeah, and I basically fed ChatGPT, like, this is how Kirk usually is. Even going into detail about his life, which is also why, having, I think having an executive assistant who also thinks that way and getting a bit more personal because I feel like, compared to a general virtual assistant, an executive assistant can somehow function as a personal assistant, right? Like, they are your right hand person. I mean, mine is like, I can't live without Nor at the moment. Yeah, she knows all my kids. She knows my quirks. She knows.
She even knows if she ate or not. Like, you didn't even know that you didn't eat today, right?
Yeah, I didn't even know that I ate today until my executive assistant reminded me that I wasn't able to eat. So I gave everybody food, but I forgot.
Shout out to you, Nor, if you are watching.
But yeah, those things. Those are the things that an executive assistant can actually do. And in terms of imitating your voice, I think that also comes with like really building the connection there, really building that experience. And I think that having an experienced virtual assistant that has that confidence, right? Because the more experienced you are, the more confident you are in showing up to clients.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so everybody, I think that we've discussed enough, and I really can't wait to show you all like what the outsourcing bar is all about. Like, we've really worked hard for this. I mean, this is really what made my new year. Yeah, so we would like to present to you, ta-da, the outsourcing bar. So I want to show off our website real quick.
Show off.
Show off. Yeah.
Yes, there
Ta-da! So here is the outsourcing bar. Can we scroll a bit? Because I'm really proud of our faces there. We really went to an actual bar, guys. So yeah.
But a quick story on
Yes.
how it started.
So yeah, this was actually the interesting part because all of this started with drinks in a random December night. This was a few days before Christmas, and it was drinks over drinks and conversations with your entire team.
Yes,
We were saying goodbye to Kirk's my beloved friend and Kirk's personal assistant.
his first.
Yeah, his first personal assistant. She went to Cebu and had to grow. Yeah, but so we just had that random conversation about really leveling up for the new year, and that's really where we thought about maybe it's time for a rebrand, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for a rebrand because you also kind of like felt like the
brand didn't
yeah.
It's not living up to
Yeah.
where we want to,
where you wanted to go.
Yeah,
right. Where you are and where you wanted to go. Because I think that we started this brand 2 years ago.
Yes.
And it wasn't really, it really represented the company as it was starting and all of that years of experience. But after like 2 years as an agency owner, like, you've learned a lot of lessons, right? You've learned a lot of lessons there, and there's really such beauty in how you've grown as well. You've overcome several challenges, etc. And now that coming into 2025, I think one thing that we really
want to focus is
sustainability. Yeah, sustainability, rebirth, and
it's mainly like start from scratch.
Yeah.
Of course, we really value like the people who have brought us to where we are now.
Yeah.
We are also grateful for like the lessons
that we
learned and how it made us grow towards realizing that needs and where we want to be.
Yeah.
And somehow that the brand is not living.
Yeah. And yeah, we also wanted to show like the growth and the maturity of the brand as
Yes.
well, and that's
As
when
you can see,
yeah,
that's the brand colors.
yeah. And that's where the name outsourcing bar actually came from, because we were having drinks at that time.
Yes.
And we were thinking about like what would be a good name for the brand.
Mhm.
And you know, we recently had in my team as well, we had a getting to know you session, and one of my team members said that it was his guilty pleasure. And you know, going back to our healthy hustle
Mhm.
principle and having like work life balance there.
It's like the new rich, right?
Yeah, the new rich concept that's becoming
Yeah.
trendy lately. Yeah, the new rich concept, like, and you know, you've been in several conferences, like all of the magic and all of those connections you built during drinking sessions.
It's very true.
That doesn't mean, guys, that we're heavy drinkers. Okay?
It's like after parties,
Yeah.
really.
We drink occasionally, as Cherry would say. But yeah, so guys, I wanted to show you the website real quick. So here's a quick introduction of like what we do and the industries that we serve. Okay. So we actually serve a couple of industries that's a collective of, you know, all of our years of experience as well. So we have e-commerce businesses, Amazon sellers, contractors and trade businesses, health and wellness, cleaning companies, marketing agencies, real estate agents, coaches, SaaS companies, pest control companies, SEO and web design agencies, content creators, interior designers, aesthetic clinics, therapists, chiropractors, roofing contractors, plumbing companies, law firms, and travel management companies. But that's only the tip of the iceberg, guys.
If you don't see your industry, book a call with us.
Yeah. If you don't see your industry, simply book a call with us and we'll evaluate whether we can help you or not. But I'm pretty sure we can. And these are just some of the websites of the people we've helped. We've actually designed, written, and built these websites. We're all
brand, actually.
yeah. And we're really proud about the quality of these sites. And if you want to see this website live, you don't believe us, you can go to outsourcingbar.com to see behind the bar. Yeah. We also wanted to discuss our core services. Can we go a bit up? Yeah. So this is our quick service menu. So we have 3 types of VAs under our belt, or behind the bar, as I would like to call it. So we have the general virtual assistant, which I think you've all started with. We've all started. We've all started.
Like we have to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We don't even have courses. When
Back in our day.
Yeah.
I feel so old saying that.
There will be no age reveal to mention, guys.
Yeah, but that shows maturity and strength. So yeah, general virtual assistant, if you have anything like mechanical tasks, like tasks that are, you know, that doesn't really require, you know, results per se, like results as in like generating conversions, etc., etc. But these tasks are like, can you transcribe me this? Can you write me something, or
post
bookkeeping, something like that. You know, mechanical tasks that don't really require a lot of critical thinking, right? Yeah, and that's when you would hire a general virtual assistant. I'm not saying that our general virtual assistants don't think critically, but you know, as opposed to having an executive assistant and a specialized virtual assistant, that's really a different matter. The next type would be a specialized virtual assistant.
Yeah.
So
that's where technical and marketing tasks comes in.
Yes.
Like we're looking for results. We're looking for someone who could give us direction. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where an actual expert comes in. So like, let's say for example, for me, I'm looking for a video editor.
Yeah.
So that would be a specialized virtual assistant, because video editing isn't really my strength. I would say that there are special people for that. It's unfortunately not me. Yeah, so that would be categorized as a specialized virtual assistant. That would be categorized as a specialized virtual assistant. Even with website designers, copywriters, like any person that you would require expertise from and you would require actual results from, right? So that's a specialized virtual assistant. So we have. Can we go down a bit to like look at the
Those are some of our
specialties?
specialized
Mom,
virtual
since
assistants.
I read all of the industries,
It's time for me to read our specialist virtual assistant, guys. So we have specialized virtual assistants for the following services. So GMB optimization, GHL, go high level video editing, email marketing, SEOs, search engine optimization, lead generation, web design and development, e-commerce, content creation, graphic design, social media marketing, and project management.
and recently we've added like Notion virtual assistants as
Yes.
well. So yeah, if you need a specialized virtual assistant who specializes in certain tools, just let us know, and maybe we do have that because we do have assistants who are good with Kajabi, who are good with Zenler, Systemi, Asana, right? It's not just limited to what's here, guys. So yeah,
Book a call with us.
that's right. That's the perfect solution. So yeah, and now for the highlight of the night, because this is actually the brand new offer.
Brand new.
Yeah, that really sets apart the the outsourcing bar from who we were before, and now it's actually our signature offer, which is the executive assistance. Can you walk us through that bit, Launch?
All right. So for our executive virtual assistant, so we focus on operational tasks. So we also do decision making support. So it's basically someone who would be able to operate the same as you, who would be able to decide for
And
you
take control.
and take control. Like you would be able to pull yourself away, give time. Like as we know, we are aiming for like the new rich concept where money is not the money. Success is not about money, but success is really about having time.
Yeah.
So having an executive virtual assistant, all of our executive virtual assistants have gone through a 5-phase training process and have been with us for at least 2 years, which we have trained them to several specialties as well.
Yeah, that's right. And with an executive virtual assistant, they are also people who can manage a team for you. So some clients, they have an EA, and then they hire several VAs from us as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just to run through on one of our 5-phase training. So our first phase would be task inventory.
Yeah. So because just to address challenge number 3 that we discussed earlier, like not knowing what to delegate. So our EAs can really come in and conduct the task inventory.
Yes. Like our EA will be able to audit it for you.
Yeah.
And then we'll be the one to offer you the solution, not you offering
yeah
yourself the solution.
Yeah. So that's one of the benefits of like hiring an executive assistant from the outsourcing market. That's also a gap in the market that we've seen. Now let's go to like why we're different. This is a weird way to say it, but like why are we different? Are we? Are we even different? I believe we are. I think that one of the difference, like how we're different from other agencies, is number one. I really love that your culture here is all about collaboration. I rarely see competition in this team. Yeah, and it's not to say that there's no competition. There is still competition. Yeah, and that moves us forward. But I really love how, like, let's say for example, one of the advantages as well of like hiring an agency as opposed to hiring a freelancer, because sometimes like when you're hiring a freelancer, you can't really help but hire someone who's working from home. And we all know that when we're working from home, there stuff happens, right? a lot of stuff. Yeah, stuff happens. But with an agency, especially us, like I said, we love to partner with our clients, and we love the healthy hustle. So for us, we don't really want if our VA is sick, if they need time off, sometimes as human beings, we have weaknesses. So we give them that time off. We give them the same level of care that we give our clients, so that they can go back, recharge, and come step in. But at the same time, we're able to give our clients that security and that stability that their tasks are still being fulfilled. Yeah, consistently day in day out, despite having the main virtual assistant absent, because we have a room filled with people who understand the requirements for each client and
they're ready to take on.
Yeah, they're ready to take on. We have alternatives who can take on the task at any time. Yeah. And that's one of the things that really makes us different. And that's also one of the things that's why we really focus on sustainability. Not just from a client perspective, but from our the perspective of the team as well. That's why you're able to have a high retention rate in terms of that's very true. Yeah. The second, second is action oriented.
Yes.
You know, we have very
action oriented.
we had this idea over drinks in December that we would like to rebrand.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's the second to third week of December.
That was a few days before Christmas, like 3 days before Christmas. Yeah. That was 3 days before Christmas when we had the idea. And then we implemented it right away. I think just days after, we already had a logo, a website. And, you know, we, as early before New Year, we had a website up.
We did.
Yeah. That's just a few, you know, that's just one of the things that really sets us apart. We take action. And then, Momshi, what would you like to share?
Okay, so
what sets us apart?
I think what makes us different is you already mentioned this earlier. We really don't just follow orders, so we solve problems.
Yeah.
We're mainly focusing on like the
end user
experience, like the experience of our clients. You know, providing them expertise. You know, giving ourselves authority as well over the task that has been given to us, and also providing, you know, being trustworthy. So mainly, not just taking off tasks, not just waiting for like my client to give me tasks. We really focus our time and efforts on what problems can I solve for my client. What solutions can I offer them? So I think that's really sets us different, because we also I think we also have weekly meetings wherein we audit like the projects status. So when like a VA says, okay, my client is having hard time on this, a lot of specialists, not just an executive, because we also have specialized virtual assistants, they would give advice, to each other. Like, okay, you tell your client, you tell them to do this, to do that, you recommend this. So I think that's what makes us different too.
Yeah. And then I think last would be our actual process, our unique process. I think we continuously invest in the improvement of our virtual assistants, and not just our virtual assistants, but ourselves as well. I think we continually invest in that. We are all about like learning what are the new tools, what are the new trends, what are the latest trends. Because this industry is growing and growing fast, and it's changing fast as well. There are new tools every day, and you need to be able to have that capacity to really look into what do you think would last and what won't, right? And this all comes into sustainable growth, right? Because we would want to future proof our businesses by adapting to the times. Like, how can we implement AI into our workflows, right? But implement it not in a robotic kind of way,
like just to make our actions more time efficient as well.
Yes,
like to innovate our processes and systems.
But teaching people how to properly prompt ChatGPT or other AI tools to give results that are as humanized as possible. You don't really sound like ChatGPT. And and bar navigate. I actually tell ChatGPT not to use those words. But and then continuous training. So right now we are training people, and I think that you've also done rotations.
Yes. So we do cross trainings. So for example, if you've been like on that specific specialization, like you're just doing content writing, copywriting, like
Mhm.
for at least 3 to 6 months, then you'd be ready for like optimizations, you'd be ready for technical stuff, and then we cross training. So
Yeah.
we have a message from Camilla. Such a great first impression. Thank you.
Ah,
Your
love
website
it.
design really communicates the high quality service your virtual assistants offer.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I did a lot of work in that website. Yeah, because you can see here, like, we're the founders of the agencies, but we still are very much hands-on when it comes to, the not just the operations, but even like for the assets of the agencies, the people. That's how much hands-on we are. Not because uh,
we don't, not because we don't delegate, but we really love to be present on,
yeah. Absolutely. And guys, do you still have any questions? You wondering why we chose blue and orange?
And orange.
We actually chose blue, orange, and peach because I think it also represents us. Like Kirk's brand is orange, and that really represents passion and energy. The blue is a nod to our past experiences, like the past identity of your agency. It really was a blue, and it really does show trust and professionalism, which we have with our clients as well. Are reciprocating that trust. And then the peach is
color.
Yeah, because virtual assistants are known to really provide you with support. And peach is really a feminine color, and what part of the feminine nature is being that supportive. Yeah, that supportive. I love how the Bible uses the word helper because it's actually not just helper, wherein you
Literally helper.
the utility, literally helper that you just say, okay, can you do this? That's not the type of helper that the Bible actually interprets it. The helper is actually a guide. And it's so amazing because it actually was, one of the other helpers aside from Eve. The Bible described the Holy Spirit as a helper as well. So that's really speaks of the role that a helper does in our lives and in our businesses too. And that's what we hope to, cultivate within our agency, the outsourcing bar. And yeah, because we're fun. When I was designing this, because I was the one who designed this, and we were discussing it, we really were happy with the idea of like having a bar because the idea even started over drinks.
Like if you would go to a bar, like basically you have problems, right? Like I am going to something.
Yeah.
For example, maybe you are going to a bar.
Release. We're looking for release, relaxation, and a lot of our ideas really happen when we're not in the office. A lot of our crazy ideas, like the big ones, do not really happen in the office. And one thing that I was thinking about, like, because when you think about bars, usually luxury, wine, dark aesthetic, etc. And somebody asked me why these colors. And I think you even were shocked. You even were shocked about why I chose these colors. But the reason why we chose these colors, guys, is like knowing Esther, Kirk, and my personality, we're not really the luxurious types. Like we love a bit of luxury, but we're not really we're approachable, we're fun. We love our employees. Yeah, we love our employees to have fun as well. We have bubbly personalities. Yeah, we love a good laugh, and I just thought that having boring neutral colors wouldn't really properly represent us, right? And even the idea of the outsourcing bar. So that's where these colors. I think I did a Pinterest run through, and I saw this a photo of like cocktails over in a pool, and that's
like the dream.
Yeah,
That's the dream.
and that's when it hit me. This is it. This is the look, and I think we turned out pretty well.
But we also have to have a good night.
Yeah.
away from the office,
Yeah.
drinking in a bar.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
do.
Then
Question.
every now and then, yeah, we do. It's one of the things that we do to connect more with our employees and get to know them. Yeah, and if you guys have any other questions, feel free to let us know in the comment section. If not, then I highly suggest that you book an executive call with us now. You just go to outsourcingbar.com and ta-da! Yeah, you just go to outsourcingbar.com and click on the button to work with us, to apply to work with us. We'll be able to, properly evaluate like what are your business's challenges and how we can help if you're curious about that. Yeah. Well, I think that ends our live. There's no further questions. I think we did a good in-depth review of like how to scale your agency the smarter way and the sustainable way.
Yes. Please don't forget to follow us in our Facebook page, Outsourcing Bar.
Yeah.
So feel free to get updated on our services, because we will also be doing live sessions like this. Just going
Absolutely.
through. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you love our pretty faces and love to get updated on what we do and what we can offer, feel free to visit our website, outsourcingbar.com, and go
Absolutely.
and follow our Facebook page, Outsourcing Bar.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, thank you guys for joining us
Thank you
today
so
for our live launch. Woo!
Thank you.
And I hope that you join us next week, because this isn't the last time that you'll be hearing from both of us. Join us next week for another fun topic here at the Outsourcing Bar. Bring drinks.
Bye.
Bye.